real. You heard it first here on Terry and Trey a couple years back, but now I can say with full confidence, it is really different this time. Our New York Knicks have won 9 games in a row. We are solidly the number 5th seed in the East, inching our way down to 4, maybe even to 3, so we get to play the Nets in a Subway Series. What you gonna say about that?
Roll the intro.
Take notes.
Big Beach. We're here.
My man, Alan just did.
It's different this time.
What's up, guys? What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. As you said, Knicks, 9 victories in a row, the hottest team in the NBA. These are special moments. Knicks fans, cherish these. We've been through a lot of pain. I know it almost feels like a dream watching the team play right now, but it's been incredible. Going to Miami, get a victory. Going to Boston without Jalen Brunson, national media, all eyes on you. You know, I was kind of worried. You've been doing so well. Now we get put on the national spotlight on a Sunday night game without Jalen Brunson. So I'm like, they're not seeing the version of the Knicks have been killing it. And we go out and do that.
Kind of expected, I think a lot of Knicks fans were kind of expecting, hey, we may lose against Boston. They're the number 2 seed. You know, I think we kind of look at them as a much better team than us.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
But maybe not so much longer. But I think we were like, look, if we lose, it's all good. We're going to learn some stuff. You know, we went on an 8-game winning streak. It's kind of, we would have been okay with it.
Yeah, listen, we have to lose at some point.
If it was a close game.
Yeah,
if it was a close game, we were going to be like, okay, you know, we lost. But
exactly.
To pull that win out the way that we did, struggling. Poor Randall. Randall looked like he needed a walker to walk across the court.
Mentally and physically exhausted. And still gave us 31 and 9 and whatever, right? Not even his best game.
Still gave us the 31.
31, 9 and 4, right?
9 and 4. But we got to talk about man of the night.
What?
The man that came out last night that showed his true colors. That now, by the way, the NBA is now going to be taking notice, and they now know who IQ is.
Yep, Knicks fans, we've been known. We saw IQ. Listen, we saw a Quickley rookie season. The signs were there. This guy came in with supreme confidence, joy for the game, playing free, playing fun, hitting those threes, doing that floater, right? He had some ups and downs. His defense wasn't always there, though I believe he always had the skill. He had been really able to put it together like he did so far this season. The shooting, it always looked great, but then you wondered why his percentage wasn't better, right? Not the best shot selection at times. Sometimes he's not focused. Now we're seeing that coming together. Now in season, you know, look at it quickly right now. It reminds you of Jalen Brunson with Luka Doncic in Dallas.
Okay.
You see someone, I'm looking at this guy, Quickley's 23. That dude is a starting point guard in the NBA. He's a starting point guard in the NBA.
You mentioned last night when watching the game, you were saying, you know, Quickley can easily go to another team and be
I could see it because this is how good he's playing. I don't think you have to worry about that. I 100% think we're going to get him re-signed, have him here for a few more years at least. Listen, it can even be a situation where, you know, we all this talk about getting a star, we could end up with Brunson, hear me out. Brunson, Quickley, RJ, Randall, Mitch, and that's the starting five.
So,
we gotta table that because that's a whole different thing. We gotta stay on Immanuel quickly, and actually I want to roll the highlights as we talk about his performance last night. All right, so quickly here, I just want to say this before you talk a bit about him. First play of the game, he wins the tip, he runs down, shoots a 3. That set the tone for the night. He came out aggressive, he came out to make his name known, and he did just that.
Well, he set the tone for the night, right? So with Brunson being out, I think Quickley 100% stepped up and filled in that role that Brunson was normally playing.
Yeah.
He gave us, he's always confident, I think, when he plays, but he gave us that extra bounce. He gave us that extra bounce.
He's blowing you up.
I'm sorry. He gave us that extra bounce, but he also, in the clutch.
Yep.
Right?
Oh, we needed it.
And it's so important to have that player who's not afraid, who can carry the team because sometimes you need to be carried, and who can score. And that's what he gave us last night. His energy, I mean, him bouncing around, and he always has that bounce. And
he's having a blast.
All of this, and then, you know, listen, Quickley's going to send us to church. Quickley's going to send us to church.
Praise to God.
Praise to God. Praise to God. It was fantastic to watch him step up like that. And I think, you know, this team they love each other. Like, for real.
Yep.
You saw Brunson holding on to Randall the other day when he was talking
Yep.
to Rebecca, I think, at the end of the game. And I think even Randall has mentioned, like, these guys love each other. They actually do hang out together. They actually do spend that time together. And I think they all have a respect and love for each other.
Yep.
And I have always said that there's so much of the game that is played off of the court. And it's the chemistry with the team. And we have watched it. We've been lucky to... It's almost like... if you ever watch someone arranging a song, right, like in the studio, and you hear you see the little bits and pieces kind of coming together, and then you see the finished product, and you've got this great song.
Said. Perfect.
That's how I feel about this team right now. I am loving how they're playing. I'm nervous. I'm actually a little, like, I'm watching these games. I'm not nervous like we're gonna lose, but I'm starting to get like jitters because I'm like, we're about to be in the playoff series. And watching last night's game that was not a playoff game but felt like a playoff game, and I was like, with you, jumping up and down, but like nervous as hell, like nail-biting games, and I cannot imagine what that's gonna be like. We need, for me...
I'm reeling you back in. Back to the Quickley topic.
Yes, fine.
We're gonna get to the playoff talk real soon. I just want to finish up because Immanuel Quickley's performance deserves a lot of analysis. He, like you said, he steps up. Quickley has always been able to give us timely buckets, going back to his rookie season, right? He's giving you timely buckets just when you need. I noticed it about him early, right? Last night, yet again, third quarter, the game's slipping away. Got a little bit worried Quickley. The backup team, the guys come out here, they get on such a crazy run. We get into overtime. Randall is physically exhausted. He's literally waving the ball over to Quickley like, nah, you go, you take it. I love that Randall deferred to Quickley in that moment because Quickley was hot. He was on fire, making all these floaters, keeping us in it. He was playing excellent defense. Quickley's been one of the best defensive guards in the league this season. That performance last night was not something that just happened in a vacuum, as you referenced before.
Sixth man of the year.
Listen. Here's the thing. It's a cumulative effect of Quickley himself. Doing the hard work day after day, week after week, game after game, year after year. What you saw last night was all the work he's been doing all this time. Knicks fans knew. We've seen him do it. We've seen Quickley have, maybe not this kind of game, but we've seen the spark, right? We're waiting for him to take that next step. He's 23. He's about to get paid. We're going to have to pay this man, and I hope we do, because I think he's a special player. I don't think he's near where he can be. Look at him, this one where he's hopping up. Listen, he plays with such a joyful, infectious vibe. I saw some Boston fans talking about it like he was being disrespectful. I don't think Quickley's out there being disrespectful, taunting. He's genuinely enjoying the game on that level.
He's not that guy.
Exactly.
He's not that guy at all.
Yeah.
And the fans got to see Quickley last night.
Yeah, they got to
learn.
learn.
A lot of times what happens for us as New York fans, whenever there's a national game, we end up getting shitted on. Or we end up losing. Or we play horrible.
Yeah.
And then everyone just looks at us again like, oh, that's the
regular that Knick talk, they're not really good.
So now, especially after last night's game, I think we definitely got some credibility on our name and some, what does CP the franchise say? Put some respect. Put some respect on our name. I'm taking your line, CP. Yeah, put some respect.
For sure. All right, so speaking of the national media, we're going to get into that. Let's watch some of what's going on out there in the media landscape.
Okay.
You mentioned the bandwagon. The media talks about us anyway. Now the media is at a point where we're the topic of conversation every day. Like, who's this Knicks team? Can you trust them? You heard them last night. They were still giving sly digs. They were saying, oh, and these are like your father's Knicks.
Yeah. Well,
implying that, we've been, this is the mythical team you heard about. The truth is, and this is why I think there's always been this kind of war between Knicks fans and the media. I don't think Knicks fans at all have a problem talking about how bad the franchise has been. We know it. We're the ones who complain the most.
Right.
What it is that they judge, and the way the media talks about us is always based on that and never in reality, right? So they're freaking out the draft. Oh no, the Knicks didn't do this, the Knicks didn't do that, right? Immanuel Quickley got a D draft grade from CBS Sports. We're now ranking us number 1 in the league, by the way. Wow. They gave him a D draft grade. Had another team drafted Quickley, I think he's getting a higher grade. I feel like a guy like Quickley should have been on your radar earlier, right? Julius Randle still gets disrespected. Jalen Brunson is now finally fighting through. So let's just look at some clips and get a reaction as well. We watch some national media stuff. Let's check it out. First off, here is Nick Wright talking to Chris Broussard about the Knicks in December.
Okay.
All right.
Record this Knicks media and play it back never when I'm proven wrong. this Knicks team is a threat to no one in the playoffs, and in 6 weeks, we'll be talking about, are they going to make the playoffs? You know I'm right, Wise.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I'm
6 weeks have passed. I just want to confirm that the date on this. When is this? The 20-something.
Talk about
No,
shitting on us.
here you go. The 21st of December.
Wow.
Pretty sure we're 6 months past then.
6 weeks.
Weeks. Might be 6 months of this week, regardless. Yeah, so Nick Wright, we'd like to hear an answer to this. We're requesting this from Terry and Trey.
My litmus test, Kendrick Perkins. My brother. And I
You know it's coming.
For your compassion.
You know it's coming.
Kendrick Perkins. Be nice to your man, to your big bro, Stephen A, okay? Just join with me right here, okay? All I want, Kendrick Perkins, all I want is for the New York Knicks to get beyond the first round and to not be sent home by Donovan Mitchell.
Oh my God! Why is he on with the Donovan Mitchell? Donovan Mitchell. You know what? We're not even gonna play the Cavs. We're gonna play the New Jersey Nets. We're gonna get down to the 3rd seed, and we're gonna play against the New Jersey Nets and a nice little short subway ride away in a subway series. We're not even gonna play the Cavs. Why is he stuck on Donovan Mitchell? Oh my goodness.
I'm not saying obviously Donovan Mitchell's the top guy, and have we gotten him, maybe we could have built something around that regardless, but I think the Knicks finally did, they had some patience. We've been begging the Knicks to have patience for years. Look at this, right? Just from a trade perspective.
Right.
The player that Immanuel Quickley is now,
Yep.
right? Potentially the 6th man of the year.
Mm-hmm.
He's come out on the national stage. You're going to get to see him in the playoffs. He's going to play heavy minutes. If you're trading Immanuel Quickley now in the summer because you're getting a star,
Right.
the team that's getting Quickley is now considering his value 10 times higher.
Yep.
Now it's like, oh, you know what? I might want this Immanuel Quickley guy to be my starting point guard. Not just one of these random people you threw in a trade. Right? If the Knicks decided after the season, they said, you know what? We got to go all in. We want to trade Quickley, Grimes, picks, whatever. I don't want to do that, by the way, guys. At all. I do not think we need to do that right now. But let's say they did. The value of those guys is so much higher than before.
Absolutely.
So by virtue of that alone, by not throwing Quickley in this deal for Donovan Mitchell, you have improved Quickley's value so much. I don't even want to talk about his value because I want him here as a Knick. But just the point from a franchise point of view.
Right.
Right? It was too soon. I hate talking about this. I keep doing it.
Well,
but it's been going on so long. It's an annoying conversation.
Not just that. What I love so much right now about the team is that the team has stayed together.
Yep.
The team has stayed together so they know each other. They know how to play with each other. They love each other. They keep proclaiming their love for each other.
It's a homegrown team.
Had we got Donovan Mitchell in, as great as a player as he is, he would have needed some time, and the team would have needed some time to get accustomed to him and how he plays, and how they are now going to play together as a team. So as far as I see it, we did the right thing. We did the right thing by not making any big crazy trades. We kept our homegrown guys, and they are playing really well.
Incredibly.
For us. They have all upped their value, like you just said. And if we did trade them now or in the off season, we would get much better value back for them. I don't want to trade them.
No, I'm good.
I have always said that I don't want a star, like a big superstar name. And I am much more comfortable watching our Knicks team, and you give me 4 players on the team that can consistently score over 20 points a game.
We're getting
right?
there. We're getting there.
Then I don't even want the star because that means we'll have 4 guys on the floor. I get it. I get that in basketball you have to have 2 if not 3 stars. Everyone else has done it, right? You know what? Why don't we be different? Why don't we be different? And why don't we have, forget 4, why don't we have 5 players on the floor that can give us those points?
Listen, I would love, I look at it this way, right? You're right. It would be, the Detroit Pistons did it in the past. It's not completely impossible.
It would be different this time.
It would be different this time, for real. And to be honest, at this point, I'm looking at this team play. I think anything can happen in the playoffs. I'm dead serious. I think anything can happen in the playoffs, guys. I don't want to give any predictions or let you know what I'm thinking, but I think anything can happen in the playoffs. But to your point, these guys can go prove that now.
Okay.
No one's taking their minutes. There's no star here, right? Like no stars in there right now taking the minutes or whatever. So this season, the guys are healthy. They're playing well. They're on a winning streak. They're heading into playoffs. They might get home court advantage to some degree, maybe in the first round, right? So if these guys want to prove to the front office, to the NBA, to everyone, yo, we good. keep us all here.
Then
We got this.
Then they need to prove it.
Then
in
they
the
gotta
playoffs.
perform the
They need
playoffs.
to
I
prove
think
it.
this team is not in danger at all once they get past the first round.
More to say about the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, the Knicks have to, outside of winning that first round, they have to step up
Yeah.
and play playoff basketball. Because right now, you know, we're playing or winning these games and it's great and the team looks great. They have to keep this energy and then turn the dial up even more because all these other teams they're playing against have enough experience playing in the playoffs. They know it's another level of basketball. They know when they step on the court, there's a different energy. Like you say, the celebs are out, the ticket prices are high, you know,
The hype is there.
national coverage, the hype is there. It's not my fair. It's not my fair. I just want to see these guys take that next step.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure that Tibbs has them prepared to take that next step.
Yeah.
And that they're not going to fall flat on their face because remember what happened to Randall. So
Yeah.
that can't happen.
It was a tough series
can't
for
happen.
him. He didn't have any help. The Hawks knew what they were doing. Mitch was out. A lot of things didn't go our way. But you're right. You know, they have to make it happen in the playoffs. This run, beating these teams on their home
It's
court. And
great.
here's the thing. These teams are playing, maybe not the sharpness of the playoffs, but the intensity is there. These are playoff games they're playing right now. Boston's not going into last night like, oh, whatever. Right? They're playing pretty hard. I know it's going to be a little level again for the playoffs, but we're already dealing with that intensity. But like you said, also, rotations, when these teams drop their rotations, start playing only 8-9 guys, you know,
Right.
we've been really optimizing our best 9 all season.
And they're tired.
Playing against
and
team-
They're tired.
And
They're getting
well,
tired.
yeah, I think they're tired in like, they're not tired. I think it's just like, you know, a little road trip. Miami, Boston back-to-back is really tough, right? They're going to have a much easier game, hopefully, against the Hornets. And even with the West Coast trip, we do well on the road, one of the best road teams. Again, another thing that bodes incredibly well for the playoffs. We're one of the best road teams in the NBA. We are good on the road. The whole time, when we watch the Knicks play on the road, we feel like, you know what? They're not stressed. They're
Right.
just playing. They don't feel the expectations. Even though with Brunson missing all this stuff, I'm watching them at the Garden last night, and I never felt like, oh, this occasion is a lot for them. It felt pretty simple. You feel actually when they're home and the crowd is over
There's a
them, like,
little bit more
it
for
feels
them,
a little bit
right?
scarier.
The only thing too, we have to remember in the playoffs, you know, it's a 7-game series, and each game that you play against that team, because it's the same team, they're getting to know you better.
Adjustments, yeah.
Adjustments are being made, but also for us, we're getting to know them better as well, right? But playing the same team back to back like that is very different.
It's
from
very
playing,
different.
You know,
Very
different teams every
different.
night. I mean, we did kind of with Boston because we played them last week Monday, and then we played them last night, so we did get to play them quite short, you know, time period between when we played them. But it is very different playing that 7-game series. You're playing against the same team. You're seeing the same guys, and
It's a chess match.
I just need to see these guys take it up a notch. You know, the staff has done an incredible job. Tibbs has done an incredible job. Obviously, Leon, Worldwide West, the training coaches,
Johnny Bryant,
Steve
Stout.
All of these guys are obviously doing a good job. There's another level of mental you got to get to play under pressure.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
To play under pressure, all eyes on you, national media coverage. You know, now that we got to this point where people are talking up the Knicks, we can't now turn around and disappoint. We're going to the game tomorrow, so we'd like to see a win at the game. And then we go on this road trip. So initially I was like, damn, it's going to be a really difficult road trip. It's 6 games, West Coast.
Well,
playing
what is
against
it?
difficult
Denver?
teams.
Okay, so I know it's Denver, Sacramento, Clippers, Lakers, and Portland. I'm pretty sure it's that.
Right. To me, we're winning 3 of those games now. Easily.
Listen, if you're being real, we should beat Portland. We should definitely beat Portland. We should beat the Lakers. Right?
They had a good game last night against Golden State.
They did. But LeBron is out. Come on,
Right.
you got
Right.
Then you got the Clippers, who I think we should beat, but that one's a bit iffy. The Nuggets are the best team in the NBA.
Okay.
So you'll see. And playing in Colorado is always hard with the high altitude and stuff. And then you also have
You're gonna get high.
that too. Then you also got the Kings, who are the 3 seed. Kings have been the Knicks of the West, right?
Okay.
The Sacramento Kings haven't been this good since Chris Webber. So really great to see them. I've always liked that franchise. So I kind of look at it like if we go 2-3, I'm cool.
Right.
But I really think this team could go 3-2. I think this team could go 4-1. I think this team could go 4-1.
I just want to solidly. So now that we're number 5,
yeah.
I do not want to see us go to number 6.
Yeah. We're 2 games ahead of the Knicks.
So
I'm not worried, but yeah.
We need to be 5, 4, or 3. we cannot move from that number 5 spot. We cannot.
Yeah, I would love to get 4, but we belabored the point. Thank you for watching, y'all. Peace.